Hi, I'm Sue.
And I'm Mel, and this is Manifesting with Mel and Sue. Today, we are talking about
Purging.
purging.
All right, so what's purging? If you have been in the manifesting community for a little bit of time, you may have heard the term purging. Basically, what it means is that people who have manifested something that maybe was important to them or um, had some opposite results when they were manifesting. The idea is basically that your new beliefs are going up against your old programmed beliefs in your mind, and it may have things to do with your feelings of worthiness, your doubt in the new story. It could be any number of things that are causing some resistance there. So, what is purging?
It's basically your subconscious is getting rid of the old story.
Yes.
It's just getting rid of what you don't want anymore.
And why is that a good thing?
People might think it's a good thing, isn't it?
Yes. People think if they're starting to see the opposite of what they want, they think that they're not doing it right.
Exactly.
But no. You know why?
Guilty. I've been there before. She knows.
We all have.
We have.
For sure we all have. So the reason why it's a good thing is because it's showing you that your subconscious has been impressed. So the reason why you're seeing opposite results is because your subconscious is being faced with the new story. Mm-hmm. And it's starting to accept it, but it's also like maybe you are, while you're coming up against this new affirmation, your old story, like the ceiling fan that's still moving, yes, still playing out, right? Mm-hmm. So what do you do in that case?
You persist.
Yes.
You will hear us say that all the time.
Yes.
Persist. And persisting doesn't necessarily mean say your affirmations more and more and more. It doesn't say more of. It just means keep doing what you're already doing because it means it's working. You don't change what you're doing.
Yes.
A lot of people, like, my natural reaction before was always to be like,
affirm
what
harder.
am I doing? Affirm harder. Do this, and like start throwing out all these different techniques and changing it up. And then I stopped getting results. And I was like, what's going on? And she'd be like, well, you weren't persisting. I'm like, what are you talking about? I did this, I did that. That wasn't persisting. It was changing. And so I was trying to
keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah, you just keep doing. If you're affirming once a day and you get the opposite results or you get the purging, then it's working. It has such a negative connotation to it. But it's really a great thing. Like, don't get upset. Just be like, oh, that's awesome. It's working.
Yes. So that's the important thing, is like, how are you reacting?
Mm-hmm.
It's okay to feel frustrated when you're not seeing what you want. You can feel that feeling, but are you thinking this isn't working? If you do, catch yourself, because the fact that you're seeing opposite results is proof that it is working. And
Absolutely.
So if you can immediately recognize that, see, my issue in the past has been I didn't recognize it immediately and catch it quickly. But when you realize that what you're doing is working, then you can be happy about it, and you can be like, yes, it's working. I'm going to keep doing exactly what I'm doing because I can tell that it is working. And you will start to see a lot of times, like if in the SP example, you and I have both experienced hot and cold behavior.
Yes.
Right? So
Absolutely.
What is hot and cold behavior? Hot and cold behavior is where hot is when all of a sudden you start to see movement, you start to see contact, or it could be something as little as like this guy who you haven't talked to in months all of a sudden is liking something that you posted, or is seeing something that you posted, or you even just see him somewhere. Like, that is movement. That is signs that your subconscious has been impressed. But then, so you're like, okay, great, keep doing this. And then all of a sudden you get the opposite, the cold. It's because there's two stories going on in your head, And right now, they're competing for your dominant state. So your dominant state needs to be the new story. And you just persist in it exactly as you have been. Great point.
Yes.
Don't ramp it up if that wasn't what you were doing before. Just keep doing what you're doing, because eventually, once that new story becomes your dominant thought, it's going to be more hot, more hot, more hot, less cold, less cold, less cold. Don't react to the cold.
Exactly.
Right?
I know. Sometimes you feel like you want to, and it's just reprogramming your reactions, your thought process. You're just reprogramming it, re-evaluating what your thoughts are, and now you can train yourself, and that's essentially what you're doing.
Yes.
You're just retraining yourself on how to think or how to react.
Yeah, if you're feeling conflicted feelings, if you're feeling upset, if you're feeling frustrated, like I said before, allow yourself to feel those feelings. You don't need to fight the thoughts, right?
No.
You don't need to immediately affirm the opposite. Try to distract yourself, and then when you're feeling good, come back to a place of, oh yeah, he's so in love with me, or oh yeah, I absolutely have this thing that I've been affirming for.
Exactly.
Like, just get back on track. And I think that's basically
yeah. That's
so.
pretty
And
much what it is.
we talked in the past. I told the story about Bianca and how she manifested her dream home, and every step along the way, she was frustrated and like, why is this happening? Like, he's putting our house on the market, and we can't meet his asking price, and we're not going to make it through the closing. And it's like, you started this manifestation. It's happening. Like, you just got to hang in there. And she did, and she got her house at the price she wanted.
Thank goodness she had such an awesome friend to tell her that it was just her bridge of incidents, and to keep persisting, because if you hadn't told her all of that, I can tell you right now, I know for a fact she would have lost the house.
Well, I don't know.
Unfortunately.
I don't know for sure that that's the case. It could have just been like all the wheels that were in motion.
That's true.
I like to think that it would have happened anyway, because I decided that it would.
Yes.
Yes. But you can do that for yourself. Just decide that it's going to happen anyway, regardless of what you're seeing right now in the 3D.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And you and I have gone through experiencing the purging. And
yeah. I had an issue. I remember, here's a story for me when I was working on a specific person where I was supposed to see him, and I kept getting frustrated because he kept blowing me off. And this one day, I just got pissed. And he's like, we were supposed to see each other that night, and he was blowing me off. And in my mind, I was like, okay, I'm not accepting this. And so I did SATs, actually. I laid down, and I got into a really deep meditative state, and I was just like, he is coming over. And then I said it enough times where I was just like, all right, that's enough. And then because I'm somewhat religious, spiritual now, I was just like, thank you, God. And I just felt the relief wash over me. And then a minute later, he texted me, and he's like, all right, I'll be over in like 30 minutes.
And a minute after that, she texted me to tell me what happened.
Guess what I just did.
Which is so cool. And, I know you've said numerous times in previous videos, if you don't have a manifesting buddy, I mean, I'm sorry, you guys are never going to have a manifesting buddy as amazing as this one. Well, I hope you do.
We are your manifesting buddies. That's what we're here for.
Buddies. But, we get each other through some sticky situations, and it's just awesome to have that reminder of, we can do this.
Yeah, that's what it's for. Like, that's what we do for each other. We just remind each other of, look, what's happening right now doesn't feel good, but you caused this, and you're doing everything right.
Yes.
And so if you don't have a manifesting buddy, just come back here to this video and watch this video. Whenever you feel like things aren't working out the right way for you, then you'll know.
We'll tell you it is.
Yeah.
We'll tell you to persist. We'll give you that little kick in the booty. Say, keep going in the most loving way, but we're going to still, like, tough love. You've got this.
But always remember, when you get the hot and cold, when you get the opposite results, that's proof that it's working. Mm-hmm. And if you hang through that, And just be like, no, because my reality is created up here.
Yes.
And so I'm going to persist up here regardless of what's happening in the 3D.
Exactly. That's exactly it.
All right. So anything else you'd like to add?
I don't think so. I think that covered it pretty well. If you guys have any questions, if you feel like we missed something or you need some clarification on something, comment it below and let us know. And we'll be happy to fill you in and clarify.
Absolutely. And please, while you're here on our page, like, share, and subscribe.
And don't forget, go out and manifest that dream life.